What's up guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to do a very brief video on getting your baby ready for daycare. Like many other millennial moms, I know we wish we could stay home with our child, but success is calling our names and we must put our babies in daycare. So my son, we spent as much time as we possibly could with him before going back to work. So my son was about 3 months old whenever he first took his first trip to his very first daycare. He has 2 daycares, but that story is for another day. But anyway, so yeah, I just want to go over some tips and some advice for new moms introducing their babies to daycare. So the very first thing that I recommend for moms sending their babies to daycare, especially if they're breastfeeding moms. If you're formula feeding mom, then great. You know, you can skip this step. But if you're breastfeeding, I do recommend introducing a bottle to your child before going to daycare. So you want to make sure that you're doing this because at least, 3 to 4 weeks before your baby goes to daycare, so that you can find out whether or not the bottle that you have purchased is the right bottle for your baby. If you don't have the right bottle, your baby will experience colic and gas. So you want to alleviate all of those problems that can happen by finding out which brand works best for your child. And also too, you want to make sure your baby doesn't have nipple confusion. That's really important for a baby going from the nipple to the bottle. So just make sure you test out your bottles beforehand, pick the right bottle, and then on top of picking the right bottle, make sure you have the right labels for your items. Sending your baby to daycare, they're going to share a lot of things: germs, sickness, toys, bouncers, but you want to make sure that what belongs to your child stays with your child. So you want to make sure you get really good labels, and if something or an item of your child's does not work well with the label, get a good permanent marker, write your baby's name on it. That's really important. Also too, this is not really like a necessity, but I do recommend treats for your baby's teachers. It's really important. You want to be the goody two-shoe mom. Yes, you do. Yes. Because they're taking care of your baby. Your baby can't tell you what's going on. So just make sure you send them a little thank you card or give them some donuts every now and then. It helps. And in the process of getting all of that ready, you want to make sure your baby's sleeping in a crib. Now Bryce doesn't sleep in a crib. Bryce says no, he doesn't want to. He knows the difference between the crib and my bed. And he says, because he knows he wants to be in the bed. So listen, you guys, put your babies in the crib because at daycare, they're going to be taking naps in the crib. So you just want to make sure you're doing that for your baby. And also too, speaking of babies napping in cribs, get your baby on a schedule. A feeding schedule, a napping schedule. You don't want to just send your child to daycare saying, hey, I don't know how much he really drinks. I think he drinks like 3 to 4 ounces. I don't really know. And you don't want to say, I don't know how long he really sleeps, because they don't know your child. You're the mom. You're supposed to know these things. So definitely get your baby on a schedule. If your baby's going to be eating every 2.5 hours, let them know that. If your baby's going to be sleeping every 3 to 4 hours, let them know, hey, it's easier on them. They have more than one child to take care of. Also, with picking a daycare, you want to make sure that when you're calling these daycares that you cut out all the extra fluff they give you, because immediately when you call them on the phone, they're going to say, oh, let's schedule a tour so that you can hear about our curriculum and just see how awesome we are with our cameras and stuff. But when you get to the tour, they tell you it's $275 a week. Listen, don't do it. When you get them on the phone, say, hey, I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time. If it's something that I can't afford, it's not going to work. Can you tell me how much it costs? And they'll say, oh, it costs $225 a week. And then you know whether or not you want to put your baby on the list or not. And then also too, if you're currently expecting, this is really important for you. Find the daycare, call them and talk to them, to see whether or not it's in your price range, but put your baby on a waiting list. You guys, I called one daycare, and this was probably like in February, and I was getting ready to go back to work in March, at the end of March. So I called a daycare in February, and I'm like, oh, do you have any spots for an infant? An infant is from 0 to 12. They're like, oh, yeah, we have a waiting list right now. We should have a spot available in October. October? I'm like, bruh, no, my baby's, he's already here. I'm looking for a spot in March. And they're like, oh no, our next availability will be in October. That's when the spot will open up. And I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks, bye. Like, come on now. These parents already know, so make sure you are on top of it. If your baby's going to go to daycare, don't prolong it. Do what it takes to just take the extra 30 minutes out of your day to call around, find the daycare that it's in your price range, and schedule the tour and get your baby on a waiting list, because I'm pretty sure it's a waiting list for your baby. Yeah, I mean, Jesus helped me get into a daycare, so, you know, but hey, that daycare, I was about to throw some bows, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's another story, okay? And also too, you want to, this is just a little tip. My baby went to daycare when he was just drinking breast milk, and, you know, I tried to introduce supplementing with him and then cereal. So I do want to recommend not introducing something to your daycare, or advising of your daycare to introduce like cereal to your baby unless you have it down pack at home, because you don't want to like send it where, you know, he hasn't really filled out the cereal all too well, and, you know, it may still be kind of upsetting his stomach. He's not used to it. So don't send cereal to the daycare if your baby's not ready to have cereal, okay? If he's not on the schedule, if it's not something that is a routine at home, don't do it for the daycare. Okay, that's very simple, you guys. I do want to thank you guys for watching. That's it. Those are all of my tips for moms going to daycare. Hey, it's important to do that. Until next time, to him who is able to keep you from falling, may you have love, joy, and peace. Bye, guys.